I'm being honest, I kind of have mixed feelings about the fact that I'm having a C-section. Having a C-section because I had a myomectomy a year and a half ago. I was highly advised to go the C-section route. That said, even if I didn't have to have the C-section, I think I probably would have considered it as an option, whereas I think a lot of women don't even think about it. Understandably, I think it's up to everyone to do what's right for them. Now that I'm having a C-section in less than 6 weeks, there are, I think, some hidden benefits that I hadn't considered that I've been experiencing. First is that I feel like if I was having a natural birth, I would have spent a big chunk of my time preparing for the birth itself. I would have done the breathing classes, the hypnobirthing classes, all of the books about birth. And by taking that off the table and knowing that I'm just going to show up at the hospital and then be in recovery, all going well, I almost don't have to worry about that part of it so much, and I can really focus on what comes next. So I'm focusing very heavily on how are we feeding the baby? How are we going to help the baby to sleep? What's our life setup going to be like? Like, I'm really having these conversations with my husband and thinking about them up front. And again, I think or would expect that if I was having a natural birth, I would have spent at least 50% of my time thinking about the birth, because understandably, that is quite a scary thing. And it's something that you have to be prepared for. That has been taken off the table for me. The second thing that I didn't think would be a benefit, but I've actually really enjoyed, is not having the anxiety of wondering when I'm going to go into labor. I think if I didn't know when my date was, I would be much more anxious about birth and much more anxious about being pregnant. And I think because I have a date in mind, when I know I'm going to be able to pack my suitcase up and go to the hospital and have my baby, it just gives me more peace of mind to not have to worry constantly about like, when's the labor gonna happen? What I will say is, of course, I still could go into labor for the date of my surgery, but hopefully that won't happen. I wanted to share this in case anyone else is trying to come to terms with the fact that maybe they have to have a cesarean or they're considering a cesarean. These two benefits, I think in the long run, especially that first one about preparing for the fourth trimester, I think is gonna be a huge help once the baby actually gets here. I'd love to hear what you think, or if you have felt these benefits too.